Happy Wednesday, I think. We're going to call it a happy Wednesday. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have Starx. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have DT, who is apparently calling me out before I can even start talking about him in this race. I am Filey, and I am joined by Karaoke. And it is, in fact, not Wednesday. It is Thursday. That is the kind of day I'm having, chat. How are you doing tonight, Karaoke?
I'm very glad it's Thursday, because that means tomorrow is Friday, and Friday is a good day.
I mean, is time even real?
No, time is a social construct.
Okay, at least we got that sorted out. Good evening. Good Thursday, as we say on Earth. And yeah, welcome to, I believe this is game 2 of DT versus Starx. I believe DT won game 1, but that's speculation on my part. And I do also believe that In the Name of DT is coming at us tonight with a hot personal best from last night in his own race, in his own run of the vanilla category of this game, where he finally eked out that sub 90-minute run. So quite the milestone. And we'll see if he can pull through with that execution for tonight as well.
Yeah, with the settings that this tournament is using, there's a lot of good strategies from the vanilla speedrun. I'm assuming that was an NMG run that he did there, and a lot of strategies in terms of what your gear looks like is very helpful for carrying over in the way that this tournament has its settings doing up.
That's right. So yeah, you know, if you can beat, as we say often, if you can beat the NMG run, that's the right number of hearts, that's the right number of swords, that's the right silver content for the end of this run. And it looks like we are off not doing combo randomizer tonight. Just doing our regular standard hard mode difficulty. Or standard mode hard difficulty. Hopefully Starx will be running soon. But for the time being, that cursor sprite, somehow, even without legs, is able to get moving and get started. DT, you're gonna map check for us? DT, you're gonna give us a map check, right? Right?
How did you know that? You're like looking so far into the future.
I was just getting frustrated that he wasn't showing us what was on the map. Turns out green pendant, desert, regular crystals in Eastern and Hera, and I'm just glad we saw that, so we didn't have to wait until the end of 6 minutes to find out.
And our starting weapon this time is going to be the bow, so get to poke things from very far away.
Yeah, starting bow, bomb drops from guards. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I hope Starx is happy. We'll find out. Okay, key in the first chest. Not that matters a ton. You're opening every other key in escape. Or every other chest in escape. My goodness, Karaoke, fix my words, please.
404.
Words not found. Oh no.
Extra words not found, as we're just kind of chilling through our escape sequence here. Poking the guard's eyes out, getting a little tiny shield from that chest. It gets better to get it out of the way now when we're just kind of passing through all the chests and opening everything anyway, instead of, you know, looking for something super required near the end of the seed and then just
Oops, all shields.
Oops, all shields. Of course, at least with the settings, there's only 2 shields that can be found, and then, you know, the last one gets replaced with, I think 20 rupees or something. And being able to stay away from that guard with the bow and arrow. And Zelda's holding the map, so we can find our way out of here now.
You go in back the way you came, except you take the stairs straight down in the big rooms area because it's slightly faster. Wait, is that true? No, you don't. You use the stairs to run around the top. I've played this game before. I promise you, chat. I've played this game at least twice.
I think you're holding that map upside down that we just got. Maybe turn it around and
look.
You know,
maps are like time. They're not real. They're social constructs.
Back in my day, you had to use maps to get anywhere because there's no fancy, you know, little phones and things built into cars to tell you that it's recalculating.
Back in my day, you had to use maps to get everywhere because I had only played this game once or twice at that point, and not the... I'm not going to think about how many times I've beaten the game at this point.
Honestly, vanilla, I've only done one 100% run of Link to the Past, and then I got into Rando and dabble in various flavors of Rando because I like holding on to seeds, and sometimes I just feel like playing V18. Remember those days?
I remember those days when it was just go to Hype Cave, don't worry about it. So I think we will be getting Starx back eventually. But for now, we do just have DT running through the front section. You know, nothing too big going on. When your first guard drops a single arrow, or sorry, drops a single bomb, I guess DT has decided he's gonna mostly leave enemies until they're directly in his way, like that one snake, and kill that, get a second bomb. That is, you know, almost enough to clear the village. Odds are he'll be fine at this point.
I definitely kind of agree that the escape just kind of becomes a lot smoother for runners when they get that early bomb drop because something was in their way.
Yeah, the hardest thing to do is hit the key rat, and DT just takes the pot shot and it lands, so there we go. Oh boy, 3 more bombs and a sword in the back of escape, so DT is not only set for the village once he gets there, but also generally equipped with a sword. And I want to say DT has come out of escape with a fairly good time here, but I have no idea what any of those numbers in the top left of his screen are, so we'll just have to say that's good.
I speak Mr. Saturn, so I do believe that was a sub-6 escape boing zoom.
No boing, we didn't have the hook shot, but yeah, sub-6 escape is a really good time, and oh gosh, I haven't seen someone do this in a long time, but I like what he's doing here. He's just saying, I'll get to the village later. Maybe I'll even have Dark World access and stuff by then. Interestingly, he's going to check the Lake Hylia Island, and he's just going to take this bow that he starts with and go straight to clear Crystal Eastern. He can do it. He's going to have to do it at some point. He gets the Hazrul along the way, and it's done. And maybe it makes Kakariko a little nicer.
Well, you know, most runners, most people in general routing say, you know, go to the place where you're going to find the most items and the most stuff. Taking this bow and going to Eastern early, just kind of pointing with the way the items are going and getting it done out of the way in the sense of ABC, always be clearing. You get a dungeon out of the way, you get a crystal, and you get some items.
Always be clearing dungeons. Essentially finding good... I am running out of steam on that. But yeah, you know, I think the one piece of trepidation a lot of runners might have is, can I do Dark Room Eastern Palace right at the start? And the answer here is going to be a yes. DT's going to have 6 hearts available for him. I think he's played this game enough. He knows where the hearts are under the pots to refill if he needs it. He's got a sword for running around in the dark rooms, and the dungeon is going to give him enough arrows, even though he's not entering with the full capacity. So that'll all work out nicely. Meanwhile, Starx has fixed his stream and is meeting us joining us in Kakariko Village, where I think our tracker Iceman is on the ball with some of the things he's about to find, including boots, a cape, a bunch of money. Whew. And a hookshot.
Oh, there's the boing. So at least the good thing about Kakariko is, even though it's loaded, you might think, oh, now DT's behind. He doesn't have all this nice shiny stuff. He's probably gonna go there anyway. It's just how Kakariko Village is. You gotta go there. It's the hottest place in Hyrule.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit to go somewhere else and then come back and go, well, I guess my opponent got boots 5 minutes before I did, but that's just the game he plays sometimes. Could have gone the other way. Also looks like he has a Master Sword and an Ether Medallion and a book from the well. Oh, which opens up Desert Palace, but that's a pendant today.
It's a pendant. It is the green pendant, so it does give one extra item at the end if you feel like heading back over to, Sasrala afterwards. And they say, could do something like Starx could go over to Desert Palace, run over there with the boots, open it up because they got the book, finish that area. Although no lamp or any fire yet, so gotta wait for that. Maybe he'll find that early. If he finds that early, go over Desert and then kind of clear the green pendant and Eastern at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be weird. It would make some sense. Be weird and make some sense. Meanwhile, DT's Eastern play is gonna get him a crystal. It's gonna get him a crystal. Doesn't seem too good otherwise.
Ooh.
There's that glove you'd need for the back of Desert Palace. It's just in the library. Uh-oh, DT's Aggroed and Igor got himself lost a bit. I think he was below the pot while he was trying to grab it to the left. So there's going to be a bit of a time loss here as he grabs some fairies and resets the room that Starx is going to use to go to South Shore.
Try number 2.
And Starx gets the hookshot clip on that chest in the dam, meaning he only has to go in and out of the dam once to get everything he needs.
Stark's like, I got a decent amount of hearts already. I don't need that quarter of a heart, so I'm gonna pass that up and head into the Moldorm Cave, which is gonna fall pretty quickly with the hookshot and just kind of poke it from afar and get rid of them right away, grabbing the magic along the way. What's inside today?
A bottle.
And
some other junk. I mean, I shouldn't call the Big 20s junk at this point. They get you closer to that 500 rupee count for Zora, but Starx is not worrying about that at all right now, and we're just going to see DT and Starx swap positions. Starx head to Eastern. Oh, DT missing the quick kill on Armos, letting that guy turn red before he's defeated. Just going to take a bit of time back here. Ooh. What's, is DT just going south first on his way to the village? I guess so. He doesn't know this yet, but that's gonna work poorly.
Yeah, reverse village order. You're gonna have to backtrack and go back into the library, unfortunately.
On the other hand, you know, we did see Starx skip on the bonk rocks. DT might feel a little more inclined to go that way after the village. We'll see. We also, I don't know if Stark's checked at Lumberjack, but DT will probably do that if he's doing the bonk rocks check at the same time. So, you know, as we see the two runners kind of whittle their options down at this point, there's not a lot of stuff left on the table for finding items. I guess we have Zora, as in King Zora specifically in Logic, and Ice Rod Cave. We can take that bottle from Mini Moldarm Cave, and we can go to Desert at this point. That's not a ton of stuff left.
Nah, in terms logically, it really isn't. Now, of course, our runners are good enough to do sort of things like maybe fake flippering and go into hobo, navigating. Since we got the lift power, I guess you could, you know, navigate up the mountain through the dark side of leaving the old man. But yeah, in terms of logical things, there's not a lot left. It's kind of smelling like maybe some dips or double dips in some places.
I mean, there's that option. Just deal with the dark room. Not that it's remotely a challenging one, and climb up the mountain with the old man. With the hook shot, you can get to East Death Mountain, so that is attractive for all its chests available for items. On the other hand, without Hammer and without having a mirror to get up to Tower of Hera the fast way, you kind of make it so that if Hammer shows up later, you're really orphaning the Tower of Hera.
Mm-hmm.
So that might make the runners put it off for a while. DT is going to aggro the guards in the village, but I like this. He's going back for the glove before he heads into the Lost Woods, because it turns out that running out of that drop-down pit in the Lost Woods is very time-consuming. You want to avoid that if you can. Stark's doing the back dark room of Eastern Palace, looks to have a bit of an easier time than DT did, and is going to get out of there nicely with his health intact and up to the full complement of 30 arrows. It turns out our Master Sword was in the Lost Woods today. Just not where you'd normally put it in the Lost Woods.
Yeah, it just didn't get all the way in the back there. They were a little bit lazy and walking all the way in, and there's where that ether medallion is as well. We'll be seeing later if that's required or not.
Hey, has anyone checked the stun prize yet? No. All right, fine, fine,
Okay.
fine. It's actually fine.
This is fine?
Hammers at Lumberjack. We know this now. Starx doesn't appear to know that right now, but I think the runners are about to sync up on their check of Bonk Rocks, which probably means if Starx doesn't know about the hammer at Lumberjack, he's going to find out in just a second. So, you know, we see that happen and we say no because Aga Tower is kind of boring and overdone. But at the same time, knowing where your hammer is and kind of accepting at this point that you're just going to be doing Aga Tower gives you a lot of peace of mind. And you just figure out when you're going to route that in, not if.
Yeah, for sure. And you can kind of use that time, you know, mindlessly going up the tower to think about other things of what you're going to do afterwards once you pass through there. And beat up that triangle wizard.
Now, the real weird question is anyone going to try to do Aga Tower in the dark? And I expect the answer is no. Certainly, I don't think anyone's going to start climbing the tower till they have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it's not. It's very. It's doing it in the dark is not something you see very often. I haven't seen it in a long time. Oh, very smart move by DT. You're using that ether medallion to, you know, eat those mold worms right off the screen.
You know, I forget a lot of the time how quick ether actually resolves. Because I'm used to just using the ether medallion when I open a dungeon, where there's a whole extra cutscene on top of that. The medallion itself, pretty quick for situations like that.
I mean, it is lightning, and lightning go fast.
Yes. Yes.
It's the only way it would go faster if it was red lightning. You know, if it would go faster.
So we are actually seeing a big split between the runners right now. Stark's over in the desert doing Agena and now Desert Palace stuff. But DT does the run all the way to Ice Rod Cave and gets the lamp out of it. That is going to be a nice advantage for him. And with that lamp, he just says, you know what? Ag is available. Let me grab that hammer.
Doing it now.
Yeah, I really like this. There's no point in putting it off. You know, the only thing that might make your climb faster is if somehow you found a boomerang or a tempered sword before you hit the tower, but kind of Master Sword is the intended way to climb the tower with. There are some well-known and consistent strats for doing all of this, and this will get you through. It'll get you that hammer, and you get to see what the pyramid item is just while you're in the area. Where's the Moon Pearl? We don't know where that is. DT will figure that out later. And in the incredibly rare scenario that it's on the pyramid, first of all, this must be one of Karaoke's version 18 seeds if that happens. But also, then DT's found that out before Starx has had to kind of clear the whole world to get there. This also is nice to have the hammer at this point because you'll be able to go up the mountain and then hookshot over to East F Mountain and then take the hammer to get back to Tower of Hera like we talked about earlier. Because, hey, that's a crystal.
Yeah, it's a crystal. So I mean, since you know ABC is always be clearing and then D is dungeons, can we just shorten that to always be crystalling?
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that more because clearing is like clearing what?
Yes.
Always be clearing. Okay, well, I went and cleared out all these single item caves. It didn't help me.
100% tourney when.
I mean, I'm fine. Don't worry. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Ah, Starx is going for Houlihan. I was like, surely Starx had the bombs while he was doing Escape at the start.
That is, you know, close enough to that 500 mark that doing relatively quick Houlihan there. Without knowing the lamp is right there in Ice Rod Cave, and just might be leaving that area until later. Instead, going to do the Zora check.
You can also go up to Ice Rod Cave, set up a water walk, use that water walk to clear the waterfall ferry while you're in Zora area, and then just go spend your money along that same time. Oh, hey, we're in the tower. Chat of Aghanim fight blue balls. Get your guesses in. Go. That's one already.
Oh, and I guess Starx is gonna grab the lamp. Now I wonder if he's gonna save and quit here, or just go ahead and do Zora, because he spent that time, a little bit extra time to get that money. Yeah, seems like he's going for it. No, never mind.
I thought I was gonna do it too. It's a bit weird to kind of not hold to that advantage, that leverage he's just earned, especially when he's kind of already on the way to Zora, being over there. But looks like he's going to do the tower climb as well. I have not been counting blue balls, but this does seem like a lot.
I think that entire round was 3. There, so it definitely is feeling like a lot. I've been hearing the music for a while now.
That was something like 4, I don't know. It was a lot.
It was too
Beat
many.
the average.
And now we join Clippy.
Looks like DT is trying to play Link to the Past.
Red crystals on Ice and Palace of Darkness tonight.
Yeah, and pendants in Skullwoods and Misery Mire, and just a big 20 on the pyramid.
Yeah. Alright. Now what?
Hammer. And then Mountain, probably. Actually, I especially like Mountain at this point because you're so close to it after picking up the hammer.
Yeah, you're right there. You got the light source to go through it anyway. And you got, hook shot, hammer. Yeah, get the hammer first. Don't go to the mountain just yet.
Ooh, Stark's having a tough time with some of these red guards. The ideal situation is that you execute a spin attack, so that you hit the red guard twice with the spin, and with Master Sword that'll defeat it, kind of in one single attack. It's hard to do. You kind of have to have the guard pushed up against a wall, and Starks is going for that a lot. He knows what he has to do. The red guards just aren't behaving.
Pocket change from the old man. He said, thank you for taking me home. Go buy a candy.
Here's $1. Is that enough to see a movie still?
Not even at the discount theater, no.
I can't believe we're seeing such blatant inflation. The only place this much inflation is allowed is with the Octoballoon in the southeast corner of the map.
I know, right?
Why is DT coming back into spec? Oh, because there's a shovel in here.
Yeah, there's a
Ew.
shovel.
Ew.
Gonna eventually, hopefully, possibly, maybe take that, back down and dig up some goods, but I kind of see that being filed into the back corner of the seed information for now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how this seed is dishing out fetch quests. It was like, hey, have the bottle down in Mini Moldorm Cave after you've probably been to the village. Now have just shovel up on the mountain. Just leaving those things to ruminate at the back of your mind. Probably not important, but things you have to worry about eventually. Ice Rod and a shield so far on the mountain for DT.
Yeah. No ice rod hunt today.
As Starx finishes off Aga Tower and is probably going to now grab his spot his big 20 without grabbing it and grab a hammer himself. So for the moment, DT's kind of got a lead on this early progression path. Starx has made the trip to Agina's Cave and Desert Palace, which accounts for probably most of the time that he's behind DT on this progression path. It's time that Starx will kind of make up later if DT ends up going to the south west corner of the map. Meanwhile, DT's having trouble with the dead rocks and almost takes the death.
Oh yeah, you can read the tablets.
Okay, DT's gonna get into the dungeon. I can breathe again. That was a little spooky. Just watching him run around
A little bit,
with
but
dead
I mean,
rocks in the open.
It's also not exactly completely safe in the dungeon, but at least if you die in here, you'll just start at the start.
Yeah, your penalty here is much, much lower. And in fact, DT, if he chooses to do the basement here, can just take a death warp afterwards. Looks like he is going to clear the basement. He does have the option of clipping through that pot in the lobby, doing the Hera pot glitch with the hook shot. But that gets him up the tower, but doesn't necessarily mean he gets every item in the dungeon. And if the big key is left with an item, he'd be coming back here anyways. I think with the Moon Pearl still defined, he just wants to be a bit more conservative with this. Starx also playing chicken with the dead rocks a bit there, slashing at them and then seeing them run out of the way anyways.
Some very, very smart cape usage there by DT to get through that Moldorm room without risking death right before picking up the big key in that chest, because that would have been kind of awful if you die in the room before the chest.
Yeah, a couple seconds lost to cape is nothing compared to an entire minute or so lost to redoing that. That's a strat for the Beetle Room. Didn't work too well when he accidentally hit the switch a couple extra times.
Hera's just a bunch of nothing.
Yeah, I think Moldorm now is going to have an item since we've seen map and compass, but turns out we didn't need that big key after all. And that was a green 20, so at that point probably armor or a shield, which is a kind of armor. Starx is going to show us Spiral Cave first before he makes the trek over to Hera.
back what I said, like, a minute ago. Hera good.
Yay! Kane! That doesn't help, but it helps. Yay! Yay?
Yay!
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 That's so interesting. I just kind of assumed the game would throw us progression up here after everything we had to go through to get the hammer, but apparently with all these checks, the only progression we get is the Cane of Samaria, which doesn't do anything right now. I mean, I guess the other progression we got up here is the Ice Rod, which doesn't do anything right now.
So instead of, calling this Death Mountain, it's more like Delayed Mountain?
Yeah. Wait and see now. This is where Starx is going to make up that time that we talked about earlier. Looks like DT's headed over to desert area. DT is potentially going to spend even longer in this area than Starx did, on account of he's got the gear to fight Lanmo and get that green pendant. Alright, so what's left? Lanmo, green pendant,
Shovel, Zora.
Shovel, Zora, sick kid.
Right, then they got the bottle later. Yeah, I mean, in terms of you're thinking item density, and, DT doesn't know that there's nothing in the chest here, this is the best option.
Oh yeah, 4 items total, plus that green pendant.
We'll call this ABC, always be collecting. Collecting what? Yes.
Yes. Hey, you know what's awesome? Having boots for Desert Palace. Just compared to not having boots here.
Yeah, I mean, I think having boots anywhere for any place is especially good. Just you get used to pressing that boots button to run around and do things.
Oh yeah.
Fast. And I guess also mentally in terms of taking how much time to get to places, and also general movement in rooms and versus dodging enemies and stuff. If you kind of go around without the boots for a long time, it gets a little awkward if you're used to having them.
Yeah, so we did see a Herapot on Starks' side. It is, even if you've already got the big key, just a little faster to climb up the tower that way. And here's his Moldorm fight. We're looking for 3 spins with this Tempered Sword. And Starx executes it very nicely, remembering the cardinal rule of fighting Moldorm. The tail is going to end up where the head was. Which, sounds stupid the first time you hear someone say it. But if you keep thinking about the fight that way, suddenly it all makes sense.
I've actually never thought of it in that way, and now that I'm, mentally imagining how Moldorm moves, I'm like, oh, I get it. I feel enlightened all of a sudden.
And yes, chat, I do mean Master Sword, which when you spin it does tempered damage. So we'll say that's where my head was going.
It just skipped a couple of words in there, I believe you. And honestly, that's the way I heard it from you, was you know, spinning and does tempered damage, and I just kind of went,
The Master Sword spin is just as good as the hammer. It does tempered sword damage. So DT is making the play to the back of Desert Palace here. Gonna get that last item and the green pendant. And Starx, meanwhile, doing the village stuff. Shovel, and then, I assume, Sick Kid looped in with that?
Possibly, but it might also depend on how good the shovel item is, because it might just take that and run in that direction. And shovel dig, and it's just...
That is actually worth picking up,
And
but still not great.
Speaking of fetch questy things, getting the powder from Landmo.
Yeah, I want to shout out DT's Landmo fight there. That was like solid, 2013 Ice Rod strats on Landmo. Once upon a time, there was a recommendation for new players of NMG to just go grab the Ice Rod before Desert Palace. And that shows you why. You can do it in 2 cycles if you're really good like that.
Oh, is Stark's heading back to,
Yeah.
finish it off?
Yeah, either this will work out because this is where he needs to be to make up time, or he's just gonna follow in DT's footsteps down this chain of fetch quests with now powder and green pendant, in which case this is kind of time he does not want to be spending, since Starx is effectively running to Desert Palace an extra time for all of this.
Nah, just more stuff to carry.
It's like, what if the Moon Pearl is just on Sick Kid, and it's actually been available to us for 35 minutes?
I think if I was doing that, you'd hear a couple of like level 2 words to describe my feeling right there. So like mid-range of oh darn.
Okay,
phew.
good. I would not want to be in a runner's shoes when you do that turn in. You get the Moon Pearl then, and you go, okay, how long ago did my opponent pick that up? I mean, in this case, the answer is, for DT, they still haven't picked it up. But that mentally is not a space you want to be in. Oh wait, Starx did check Sick Kid already. Chat's keeping me honest. Thanks, chat.
Speaking of fetch quests.
Oh my god!
Hey, Phi Leon.
No.
You like
No,
fetch quests?
please. Oh, okay. No, I don't. Not at this point. Not when there are this many on the table still. I guess if the game is going to throw Fluteless Mushroom at me, I want to get it from Sazabill's Hut like that. Because this is like the least painful way to get up there.
Yeah, it's right, right next door, kind of down the road, across the woods, sort of thing. It's close by enough. It's in the same neighborhood. But, hey, you like fetch quests? We'll get them all out of the way. We'll do everything.
I just want a Moon Pearl. I just want to go to the Dark World and get some more crystals.
Not even picking up the arrow. All of that. Yeah, I'm thinking Zora might be coughing up a jawbreaker today. But, we'll see here on DT's side how it goes.
was gonna say, oh, it's too bad DT didn't fake flipper up to Zora area because, you know, then he could check the waterfall cave. Except he can't do the water walk trick that you get from going inside and out of the cave because he doesn't have the flippers or the moon pearl. Yeah, there's a lamp on the ledge or a mirror on the ledge. We can't get it. We don't have the flippers. We don't have anything. Come on, game. Just get us something.
Anything. Good. Anything good, I mean, it could give us anything, but I want something good. Yeah.
And there we are.
There's the jawbreaker.
All right, so that's only been available to us since we picked up the gloves from the library. 30 minutes ago, roughly. So, yeah. I mean, when you pick up the moon pearl there at a basically last location, you do know that, okay, at least the Aga Tower climb I did was required. So you don't have to worry about that. But that is still a lot of time you've spent doing things that don't progress you.
At least in this case, like with the hammer being on the ledge and everything, that was also required for Aga stuff, not even just to do everything else. But nah, I was hoping for like 4 out of 4 hearts there to make it kind of interesting. Call it Heart Cave today, but nah, rip.
Where's Starx going here? Okay, to Magic Bat. Just took a little detour, scenic route of the town. So is Starx? It looks like he is gonna head south. Maybe? Fake flippers? If you want to set up a fake flipper here, you can actually bonk off that statue and it'll land you on the leftmost pixel possible. Or you can use a bomb like this, which will land you on the rightmost pixel possible. I'm not. Is he just looking for a quick path to the witch's hut? Oh, hey, look. DT is in Palace of Darkness. This is a completable crystal dungeon. So, of course, he is going here, because it would be foolish not to.
Yeah, one of the most treasure chest amount dense dungeons, with most of it being keys, though. But, clear it out, get the crystal, maybe find the next step in your progression while you're in here. I think it's good. It's a pretty easy dungeon in terms of Dark World stuff.
I have a couple questions about DT's route. But you know what? He's gonna make it worse, or make it work, I should say. Oh, we can always make everything worse.
Oh yeah, we can definitely make things worse. Well, we can't directly. We can send bad vibes and thoughts and say like, "Oh, you got the flippers. Can't believe it. Now he has to go back all the way to Zora to get that mirror. Eventually, it's gonna take forever."
Ew. I mean, like, yay! I guess you know that you can go do it. It's just more than the flippers location. I'm mad about the mirror location.
Yeah,
there's just so much I want to do with the mirror and the flippers that I can't do right now.
Yeah, like my first thought was, oh, he can, partner up Catfish and go get the oh.
Nope. Oh, you can come out of pod and go to the river and hop into the river and mirror from the Dark World, so you do hobo using that shallow water patch in the Dark World. Nope, can't do that here.
I think we both need to reflect on our thoughts for a little bit here.
No. Oh, sorry, you had a mirror pun there. I hate that. I'm turning away the self-reflection, not the pun itself.
Why not both? Also, why not a tempered sword that DT just found in the hallway there?
Yeah, that's a fairly clean hammer I'm set up to. Which means now he gets to do this dark maze backwards, step back out the front door of the maze, and from there, be good to go to the boss. Starx has joined us as well in Palace of Darkness, so he's going to be picking up similar things, including the flippers. I love that little statue push that Starx did. You push the statue while you're holding out your sword, then you release the charge, and you bounce yourself off the Helmosaur. And from what I understand, it is basically the same time as if you just pushed the thing normally and walked. But it looks so much cooler.
I mean, when it comes to being stylish and not losing frames, I will always take being stylish, because that just looks great and impressive.
I think it was around the time of SG Live 2019 that everyone was just doing that for fun.
And that's good, because you know what? Video games should be fun. And I hope that you're having fun, and I hope the chat's having fun.
I mean, there's video games, so I am actually having fun.
And I'm definitely having fun tonight.
How about you, Twitch chat viewer? Are you having fun?
I think that's majority yes, so I am glad that everyone is having fun.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. So we saw DT activate his, or arm, I should say, his spin speed as he went into that Helmosaur fight, meaning that his hammer hitbox was not terrible as he faced upwards, making those 17 hits a little easier to get. Then, he got hit in the second half by Helmosaur, but when you have Tempered Sword, it doesn't matter that much. So do we just see both players after they finish this dungeon? Do we just see them rush the mirror because they know they'll need it? DT seems to be going that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'd be the best, choice at this point. Just kind of doing the quick, calculation in my head there of what else is there. You need it, just go get it now instead of playing around and doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and hey, while you're doing it, just get the mitts.
Yeah.
Get the mitts from the waterfall. And
yeah, see, perfect, awesome, great.
Boom. So that makes Thieves Town a little faster and easier to get into, and it opens up the possibility of Ice Palace as soon as we get something that melts things. So we'll still be looking for the fire rod or bombos for that. Fire rod to be try next, and then, well, who knows what medallion it is for Misery Mire. Sorry, Turtle Rock. We don't have to do Mire. No flute today. Looks like we're going to see a play into Swamp Palace, which is... What's that rule we have, Karaoke?
Never start a land war in Hyrule Field?
True, but only slightly less well known is something about the ABCs.
Oh yeah, we're calling back to 50 minutes ago. We're gonna always be crystalline.
Yeah, this is like... This here in Swamp Palace is the one time I'll see a lot of people go, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to go full clear the left side when I'm this close to go mode. I think DT might still just go ahead and do it, especially with the cane. Diver down is a cinch to do now if he wants to cut back on some of the myriad backtracking the game wants him to do.
I think if at this point, you know, approaching the hour mark in the seat, if you want to kind of sum it up in one word, it's been backtracking.
Oh God, has it ever been? Alright, Stark's going to do the Helmosaur fight as well now. Does go for the spin speed. Very good. So again, just 17 hits needed on the front of the mask. Some people like to count it as 1, then 8, then 8, because that's when the fragments start to fall off.
Wait, some people like to do math?
Allegedly.
Amazing. I think it's just addition and kind of counting, and if you get into a rhythm, then it works out. But hey, more props to you.
Yeah, I like to do math when playing this game. I just add 1, and then add 1, and then add 1, and then suddenly I'm at 216. So DT gets the diver down first try on the left side. And with the bomb he placed earlier in that room, it is totally okay to just flood the key. And when he walks in, switch goes off, he picks up the key because he was walking through the water. And he can just move straight onto the left side with the blocks already in the right spot for him. You know, this dungeon sucks a lot less with diver down.
Yeah, it's still not the best when you're, trying to find stuff and you just decide to do the full clearing, but it's just that much more, refreshing in a way to not have to hit the switches and wait for the cutscene and, oh no, I flooded the key and all that. So the discovery of that trick was pretty cool when it happened.
My only wish is that we had a better name for it.
Compared to some trick names that I've heard of, at least it's somewhat descriptive of sort of what it does.
Yeah, it is good for that. It's just, we found that at the same time as Icebreaker, and Icebreaker sounds like a cool new weapon Thor would have, and then there's Diver Down. but it is effective. It is consistent since you can use the rails to line it up. If you pick up the block like that, like DT did, you cancel your sword spin, which actually saves you a substantial amount of time as you're doing it. My only worry for DT is he is going to find the big key on Argus and be put in that position of, do you want to go back into the dungeon?
I mean, he's kind of been clearing everything else out, so I just say do it, but then also you feel bad while doing it.
You feel bad while doing it, yeah. I think that the play is definitely just to do it, especially if you are in the position DT is here where he's running a little bit of an execution advantage. He can afford to spend that extra time if he needs to, just for that thoroughness, to make sure nothing gets left behind. Unlike DT, Starx is going to head to the village. Maybe do a Thieves Town play. Oh, look, it's a big key. He's probably going to go back into the dungeon. Unless he countered that he's missing map or compass. I sure didn't.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't counting my items, but he's going back in, so there must be something in there. Hopefully.
Alright, Starx, what do we have in the village? 120 rupees in the digging game. Fire rod in the C-shaped house. So that is go mode? Question mark?
Yeah.
All depends at this point on what our Turtle Rock medallion is.
Yeah, Turtle Rock. We might be on a medallion hunt, or we might be, perfectly fine in go mode. DT gonna peek out this other tablet here.
There's an argument that while Starx is still in this dungeon, he should, in fact, clear everything he can. And then as soon as he's done here, just go straight to Turtle Rock and see if that's your mountain, your medallion that you need.
I mean, I guess you'd be clearing out Dark Death Mountain along the way for some extra bits and bobs there.
I mean, what are you gonna get? You got the best sword, you got the best bow.
Possibly the other medallion, so that once you get up there, you can, have a 2 out of 3 chance, possibly.
Yeah. Alternatively, just rush Turtle Rock, open up the portal, and if it doesn't work out, you do have 6 checks available to you right there. 7 if you want to head over to Spike Cave after.
Yeah, do it the other way around. I see how you're playing that. Check it first and then get the stuff, instead of get the stuff and then check it.
Yeah, so the probabilities around the medallions are so interesting because, like, if you just look at it at face value, you go, okay, I have 1 medallion, there are 3 options, so it's a 1 in 3 chance, but it's higher than 1 out of 3 because the game, would give it to you if you needed it. The chances go up, but not as high as you'd think. But maybe the game's just giving you the medallion so that you can get into Misery Mire because there's some other required progression you need for Misery Mire, or in Misery Mire. So it's a bit tricky to say, but also in Stark's position, and this is why you might make that run up to Turtle Rock right now. If he does that, he gets to go mode Swamp Palace. He gets to go mode Ice Palace. Those are the 2 dungeons where go moding versus full clear actually makes a big difference.
Yeah, especially that Ice Palace.
So it's a thing. You could just rush that, or you could play it a bit safer and do your other dungeons first. Certainly, once you've done your other dungeons, I think at that point you got to make the play up to the mountain, rather than checking overworld after overworld, hoping.
Oh yeah. At the point where it's just a few scattered single checks, I think it's worth like the chance. And like you said, afterwards you got 6 or 7 checks up there that's clustered instead of just trying to find stuff otherwise.
Well, and chat points out that the really aggressive play is just go mode those 2 dungeons, not worry about anything you left behind off the main path. Assume that you're in go mode unless you get a medallion right directly in your way as you're clearing the dungeon. And then when you get up to Turtle Rock and you find out you need the Quake medallion, at that point start sweating about where you might have left it behind. Oh hey, Starx beat blind. I guess there was a script.
Yeah, I think that whole second half of the dungeon just kind of flew through it there, so might just be going for that sort of quickly clearing as much fast as possible. Get all the fasts.
And we get boots already. What other fasts do we need?
Yes.
Absolutely. Maybe Starx is just going to do these overworld checks on the way down to Swamp Palace, and from there, take what he's got and full clear that dungeon. We'll see. I have to admit I'm not very familiar with Starx as a runner, so it could be he wants to really play it safe.
No, he is picking up the blacksmith as well. That's something DT did not do when passing through this area.
Oh, that's interesting. That is way more than I would be checking in this situation. I mean, if it works out, if he gets the medallion that he needs, it'll be great for him. But this is a long ways out of your way to be going when you're 3 dungeons left to go and you know you can complete 2 of them.
Was doing the full thing here, and DT took a little bit longer on blind, but was able to finish it fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure who decided to ad-lib in that fight. Hey, look, a blind script joke. But that happened. Starx did pull half magic out of the smiths, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty useful in case say like getting torch glitch at the end goes wrong or something. And also makes cold stare a little bit easier as well.
I just like climbing gauntlet with the fire rod and half magic.
You just like destruction, huh?
Only with fire.
Heh.
And yeah, that was an alternative path for DT to get to Ice Palace that we don't see too often. I thought he was gonna like do his North Dark World, Bumper Cave, Graveyard Ledge, all that. But he actually just wanted to go north to mirror and take the portal to get to Ice Palace faster. That's some... can we call that heads-up writing? Does that qualify? I think so.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take it.
And yeah, so he's going to do Ice Palace now. Goes ahead and does the Icebreaker glitch. The only question when he does the dungeon this way is does he spend a couple seconds to go over to Icebreaker Room and get that item, or does he just go to the end, assuming that Icebreaker doesn't matter? If you make that call, you're probably never coming back until it's your very last location. As it is, everything's kind of free to walk through. Did I say Icebreaker Room? I meant Iced Tea Room.
I didn't hear it, so it didn't happen.
I gotta wake up.
But it's nighttime.
It is still sun shining outside here. I have no excuse. Anyways, Quake. Quake shows up for DT.
Yeah, Quake.
In the Ice Palace Big Chest. So that makes it fairly certain that he can just get into Turtle Rock at this point.
Yeah, the odds more in favor now to just kind of go up there and give it a shot. Really hoping, honestly, at this point, that it's just go up there and open it up and not have to go, oh no, I need the last medallion.
I wouldn't normally mind that much, except after that hunt for the Moon Pearl, which admittedly, wasn't that far deep in the logic. The game just made it inconvenient to get. After that, I'm kind of inclined to just say, let's let the runners finish. Oh, we also saw DT run to the side before dropping down to Cold Stare just to fill up his magic meter because, hey, you need a full bar with Fire Rod to crack the ice on Cold Stare. DT doesn't have half magic from the Smiths, so he needed that refill, and he gets Cold Stare into the corner.
Gets
nicely, cleanly done.
That was cool. For how long, the first kind of bits of the seed took, it kind of feels weird that we're already at, the final crystal time now.
Yeah, it was...
I blinked and suddenly it's, last one's Turtle Rock, let's go.
Yeah, it was such a weird balance, right? DT went and did Eastern Palace before he even hit the village. And then we didn't do any more crystals for a long time because we're trying to get that hammer from the Lumberjack Cave. And then suddenly, boom, 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 it's a bunch of quick dungeons. Well, aside from Swamp Palace, it's a bunch of quick dungeons to just rack up your crystals. So as DT is about to open the portal to Turtle Rock, Starx is going to make the dip into Ice Palace, effectively just over a dungeon behind at this point. And we're going to hope Starx picks up the Quake Medallion from the big chest in Ice Palace, because that was what we needed here.
There it is! We shake open the turtle and we're just gonna pop right in. So in terms of like how everything shook out, you know, you could have just go-moded Swamp Palace, but Ice Palace would have been a nope mode, just because of that big chest. What do we call that thing? The big chest. So, yeah. I mean, I guess in terms of like routing and thinking through things, it just sort of kind of worked out. I don't think there are like too much improvements, other than like, you know, that one dungeon you could have go-moded, and also getting the Moon Pearl like 40 minutes earlier.
Yeah, Moon Pearl's the big silly thing in this race. And I mean, even with the Moon Pearl, where it was a lot of what these runners were doing, for the most part, was stuff they'd have to do anyways. It's when I look at all those fetch quests that the game kind of gestured at and smiled and said, "You want to do these before you go back to Zora, don't you? Don't you? Don't you?" It's those bits where we go, "Ugh,
Yeah,
really?"
It threw every fetch quest at the runners very early, which it's blurst, I'd say, very blurst. You get them out of the way when there's still a lot of stuff you're looking for, but then also you did them and they were nothing.
Hey, more strategic KPs from DT.
Yeah, those chain chomps, they bite pretty hard. Alright, good. Starx. Checking that big chest.
Go mode! I guess he doesn't know it yet, but you gotta feel fairly confident at this point that you're in go mode. As Pokey RNG goes, that's pretty good for Pokey 2. Yeah, they didn't go straight together, but DT just runs to the top, takes one out, and then the other one walks into his path. Cold Star fight for Starx with half magic goes very cleanly.
Yeah, when it comes to... You don't even really need to... Didn't even keep him in the corner, but still went, you know, fast because Fire Rod go burr, so... I guess Fire Rod go foomp more than burr. The Ice Rod go burr.
Yeah, Ice Rod go burr is what DT used to beat Landmo earlier. Oh, hey, DT played the 95% odds in Turtle Rock. He said, I'm going to skip the lava chest, I'm going to skip the big chest. There are a 95% chance that the last small key will be in one of these spots on Laser Bridge, and if it's not, he'll deal with the consequences when they happen. We might have some consequences here. No, we're fine. We're fine.
We're good. We're good, and we're alive, and we got the key, and we're heading to the back. Just don't fall down.
DT gets hit by one of the anti-fairies, but powders the other, and 8 hearts is more than enough for a Trinex fight.
I didn't have my button down so you didn't get to hear the weird noise that I made when he got hit by that one.
And look, 1 heart is all you need.
I mean, that's what we have here in the not video game world, and I think we're all doing fine, so...
Oh yeah.
Great kills on the first 2 heads of Trinix there. Very, very quick.
Unfortunately, DT misses the double spin on Trinix, so phase 2 takes a little longer than it could, but not a big problem. He manages to recover, dodge around things. Starx has entered the dungeon, but he has his work cut out for him, and it may not be possible to catch up at this point, because DT has everything he needs to head into Ganon's tower and look for that last big key. Apropos of nothing, Karaoke, what's your favorite number?
Well, my favorite number is 18.
Cool.
Oh, but why are you asking?
Absolutely zero reason at all.
Okay.
Seems like all of chat now wants to weigh in with their favorite numbers as well.
Aww.
Bunch of copycats.
Just all getting to know each other tonight, huh? Next, you're gonna ask me like my favorite color and what I like to eat, and if I'm free next Saturday.
Karaoke, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Purple, but yeah, blue's all right.
Yeah, blue's pretty close to purple.
That, kids, is why we call it the Hope Room, because you hope there is just a big key right there.
Well, 18 has a 1 in it, so yeah, okay, yeah, that's the first time in a while I've seen the big key right there in Hope Room first chest.
It's been a while, but we'll take it. And DT, of course, remembers that you can't just climb up the tower without any spell keys, safely at least. So he does the correct thing of going to the left side and pulls a key not only from the torch, but also from the next room over, meaning he doesn't have to mess around taking out mini Almasaurs at the top. He can just go straight through. So, wow. In the gauntlet, at an hour and 21 into the race, would you believe that we found the Moon Pearl literally half the race ago, only?
No.
Would you believe also that in Seed this quick we didn't egg a tower climb? It is just weird.
Yeah, this is, I think, now at the, 121, 122 mark, my single word to describe this seed has changed from backtrack to what?
What?
Backtrack to fast track. I wouldn't call it fast track, but it definitely sped up from the end, kind of like, a reverse Friday, where it's a little slow at the start and then it speeds up at the end. Yeah, because Fridays never do that.
Ooh, DT misses one of those Wizrobes in Wizrobe 2.
Of course it was the one farthest away, but just kind of smacked another block down.
I wanted the block to just keep moving south, so the block on its own would take out the Wizrobe. Doesn't work that way, of course, but I wanted. But yeah, really the only annoying thing about this seed was that Moon Pearl on Zora that you didn't quite have enough money for earlier. You never had a good opportunity to water walk and do some other stuff with your fake flippers. And you just had all these other fetch quests that Zora was like the least appealing one of everything. And once that Moon Pearl came out and you cleared your dungeons, well, everything else kind of fell into place. The big thing as a runner I would hate about this is just that burning question throughout the rest of the race of how soon did my opponent go to Zora, get their Moon Pearl, and then did they focus on dungeons and also clear the game out really easily, or did something trip them up?
Yeah, how much more did they do other than the thing?
And in the end, it turns out that both runners did pretty much the same stuff, with the exception of Starx throwing on a couple extra overworld checks between dungeons at the end. But those checks alone do not make up the difference. DT just ahead on execution throughout most of the race.
Putting that base game knowledge to use, because just at a certain point, you gotta learn some of the base game, because movement and knowing how things do and where things go and square peg goes in square hole really does help out.
Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah, sometimes you can just put all the pegs in one hole because you can tilt and put them in the right way, but
Ugh. I've seen that video. Oh, DT, don't let Ganon face down like that. No, oh, DT, missing the 1-on-1. This'll mostly kind of work. He's got to be a bit careful with his health here.
Yeah, I just saw that it's down to 3 hearts suddenly. Oh!
So, in this situation, it's good that DT didn't try using the cape earlier, or on this fight, because that would have just been a lot of magic burn that he could not afford to need to replace. And as it turns out, he does have the time to spare. Ganon in the middle right spot is nice as long as you don't get hit by the fire bats. This is a bit rough.
It's okay, DT, you got this. Don't let the nerves get to you. I'm sending you positive vibes from, in the past.
As I'm fond of saying, Ganon's easy, just don't get hit. But the truth is, actually not getting hit in this fight does take a fair amount of skill.
Yeah,
and,
like that timing to
a lot of precision.
The timing to use the hook shot there to dodge the circular bats coming back.
All right, we're through the hard part.
Yeah.
We're on to phase 3 now. You just hit Ganon at this point.
Those teleports ended up pretty good too.
Yeah, it's a torch glitch. So now we're just on to the 12 spins for DT. He's got plenty of magic, which means he can use the fire rod for some of those shots to try to line up triples. It just requires you to be standing in the right spots for Ganon, or when Ganon moves, to get that to work out. And no, not quite. We're seeing a lot of doubles here, which will be fine.
Nice shot there.
And there's your 12.
Just have to cross the hardest bridge in the game.
And that'll do it with an official racetime.gg time of 1:28.28. That'll be a win for In the Name of DT, taking this series 2-0. And just like that, we are joined by In the Name of DT. Congratulations.
Good evening. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
All right,
Hi.
Philion, do you want to ask, or should I ask?
Well, I don't know what you're thinking of, so why don't you go ahead and ask it?
Hey, DT,
Hey, karaoke.
how about that moon pearl?
How about it? I mean, last location in anything doesn't feel good, ever. But there's about a million situations where you can last location something, and having it at that location specifically, 40 minutes in, roughly, it made me feel like I could have been way, way, way behind. Was not a good feeling for, like, actually, I mean, pretty much until the dot done. Just wasn't confident.
What if I told you that you found the Moon Pearl about 2 minutes before Starx did, and you are both doing all your fetch quests before getting it?
Okay.
Actually, that's not a hypothetical. I am telling you that.
No,
How does
you
that
are
make
telling me
feel?
that. I do hear that. That's true. So, can I actually answer it since you're telling me, or is it still the hypothetical answer?
No, we're in real world territory.
real
You
world,
can give me a
okay.
real answer.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been me 2 minutes ahead there, or Stark's 2 minutes ahead. With the way that this one was, like, it was kind of a ridiculous chain of things leading up to it. Like, we were chatting a little bit in RTGG after he finished, and I mean, knowing where the hammer was and having access to it, like, I wanted to prioritize that and then actually stay in logic. So, like, going to the Zora area and like water walking and stuff was kind of the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you get the hammer, that gives you access all the way through Hera, so surely if you just clear Death Mountain, the Moon Pearl's gonna show up there, right?
I mean, you would think. I was hoping, and if not, I was hoping desert, because hey, that's at least a decent option.
Mm-hmm.
And then the decent options went away, and it was nothing but trash. Let's talk about good things, though. Ganon is excellent at hugging.
Oh, he's so good at it.
Everybody enjoys a good warm hug.
Extremely skilled. I'm so proud of him. Let's talk about the good things. Aren't you glad you never saw the flute?
Somewhat. I think it would have helped with some sort of fast travel, and if I was ever in a position to run out of quick and convenient checks, I mean, Meyershed's at least easy to get to. Am I glad that I never had to go into Misery Mire, though? Yes. So ultimately, I guess not having the flute was... It put us both at the same disadvantage, I guess. In a way.
Yeah, I suppose at a certain point the flute doesn't matter when you're basically go-moding dungeons anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, doing Ice Palace, which is so close to go-mode.
Yeah. I mean, the Ice Palace 2 is a good enough one where, like, I could have still needed a medallion, turns out I did. And
Yeah.
Icebreaker just makes it not nearly as much of a cost to full clear. And yeah, I'm glad that I did, because I had a similar situation about a week or two ago where I just go-moded the dungeon and didn't really care if there was a medallion in there. Unfortunately, I was right then, but if I had chosen that this time, it would have been disastrous.
Yeah. I mean, who goes back to Ice Palace after clearing it, leaving items behind?
That's an automatic last location.
Well, in the meantime, while we had a pleasant chat, Starx has also finished up with an official time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, 15 seconds, so less than 5 minutes between the runners. GG's to him. who is joining us now. Hello, GG's.
Hey, GGDT.
Yo, GG Starx.
That was a hell of a seed.
Hey, Starks. How do you feel about that moon pearl?
I was listening in on DT's interview, and pretty much the same as he did. Honestly, that location is far from good to last location something in, because either player can just gamble it once they have the money, and that 2-ish minute gap could have been easily 10-15.
Yeah, at the kind of start of the seed. Not about halfway through. Halfway through? I don't remember. It was halfway through. Some number of minutes through. I was like, this seed's like one word description is backtracking, which then later just kind of changed to what, because I blinked and the whole second back half of the seed was just gone.
Yeah, it sure was. Skipping that lamp sure didn't do me any favors, because I ended up double dipping desert for, well, basically nothing. But still, another thing that doesn't feel good. But my routing for the rest of the seed went pretty well once I got the hammer. Everything just was falling on my lap.
Yeah, I mean, aside from a few double dips and backtracks, both forced and just kind of generally guided by the seed, a lot of stuff as this game went on just fell into place pretty nicely. Great fire rod location. Didn't even have to dip into Swamp Palace or Skull Woods for it.
Yeah. And we were, as DT said, we talked about a bit in the race room. Turns out we, after we got our mirror, we both went opposite ways. I was really glad when I found the fire rod in Sea House, because that meant I could. I was pretty much at that point maybe a medallion from Gomo. Turns out I was. So I was pretty confident just skipping left side swamp, and in hindsight, I probably should have skipped all of the overworlds check leading to swamp also, and just go get my info on Turtle Rock sooner.
Yeah, at a certain point, those overworld checks don't do a ton. Although, hey, at least it dropped half magic in your lap nicely.
Yep, that was a fun thing to find, especially since it meant I could go a bit riskier on Ganon with the cape. Also, I had a green potion, so I was pretty much set on magic for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that was, I think, the green potion you both got in Mini Moldarm Cave that didn't get used up until the end.
Yep.
Just like a proper potion in an RPG.
Yeah, you hoard those, and you just don't ever use them.
I might need it for later.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess just any final thoughts on the race or the series or the tournament so far from either of you? DT first.
Nothing super specific. I'm curious to watch this one back because honestly, Starks, it sounds like your routing on this one wound up working better than mine would have. So really cool that it sounds like there was divergence and it led to us finding different things at different times and keeping it really close. So that's cool. That's gonna make a fun watch back.
Yep. Same thing on my end. But definitely, I would have liked to be able to steal at least one game from UDT. But I mean, it's my first tournament. I qualified in the fourth quartile, so I pretty much knew it was a pretty hard matchup in the first round for the groups. But yeah, hopefully I can pull this back and at least get on to week 3.
All right. Well, hey, thanks both runners for joining us for their comments. If you want to watch more Links to Past Randomizer, you are on the right network of channels to do so. Coming up in about 20 minutes on the main SpeedGaming channel, some guy named Andy, who you may have heard of, is facing some guy called One Up, who you've probably also heard of. Then at 11:10 p.m. Eastern, on that same channel, JP and Chemo are going to be facing off, as well as tons of other matches all over the place. If you hit that !schedule command in chat, you should see all those different races pop up there. But of course, just keep your eyes tuned to that schedule page because we have matches going on all the time for the next several weeks. It's a big tournament, folks. There's a lot there.
Yeah, and thank you all, chat, for joining us tonight here. And Philion, thank you for joining me on co-commentary. And shoutouts to our tracker, Iceman.
Yeah, shoutouts to Iceman for doing all that tracking. And Karaoke, thank you for joining me with the awful jokes from both of us.
I am glad you unappreciated them tonight.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much for watching, people. Stay tuned to the SpeedGaming channels for more tournament races and keep playing video games.
Have a good night.